Good morning. Time for coffee. There's just something about black coffee first thing in the morning. I just know that this is gonna wake me up. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Wynter Adams, IFBB Wellness Pro. Today is going to be a little bit of a different video. So I'm actually taking you through a day in the life of myself on prep, what I get up to from the moment I wake up to the very end of the day. I'll be taking you through my morning cardio, some meal prep, grocery shop and training, as well as how I prep my meals and just other little day-to-day things that I do. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, please check them out. I am currently on prep and we are filming the road to the Olympia. Let's get into it. I have all my supplementos ready for supplementing. For pre-cardio, I've started taking Novotropic. This is actually a nootropic, which basically is for like brain focus and things like that. I do find it helps me focus a bit on cardio, especially when I'm quite tired and I'm like trying to watch something and it gets to that point in prep where you're trying to find something interesting enough to watch to distract you from the amount of cardio you have to do. But this is just kind of giving me a little bit of a boost. It does have caffeine in it, so I only take it in the morning. And I'm only taking half a scoop because I'm very sensitive to caffeine. So this has 200 milligrams of caffeine per scoop, which is like a full cup of coffee. But I have just had a coffee. I don't want to go too crazy, but I only have this much caffeine on leg days when I know I'm going to be training hard. On rest days, I usually skip this and just have the black coffee. Caffeine lasts in your system like 8 hours. So it will still be having an effect when I go to train. Put that in my morning cardio drink. It usually turns orange. Today it's decided to go pink. What'd you say? What'd you say, you little shit? If you keep the mic on during cardio, you're just gonna hear me panting like a dog. Only 2 Stairmasters, but luckily they're free because no one actually likes using the Stairmaster, so got lucky there. Okay, so doing 45 minutes, see you on the other side.
One eternity later.
I get asked by clients generally like, how do you maintain intensity during cardio? Do you look at the calories burned? Do you look at total minutes? You'll be given a set time, whether it's, for example, here it's 45 minutes. The way I like to do it is to track the heart rate. I don't use the heart rate monitor on the machine because it's inaccurate. Also don't use the Apple Watch because generally they're quite inaccurate. Best way to do it is the old school way. Look at the timer, your hand on your pulse. Look at the timer for 10 seconds and count your pulse. I like to have mine at about 25 for 10 seconds, times that by 6, gives you around, I think it's 156 beats per minute, which is a sweet spot. I like to be between 150 to 160 for cardio. And you maintain that throughout, so I'll check my heart rate 10 minutes in and then 10 minutes before I finish, because then I know it's pretty much steady the whole time. And I like to do this every cardio session because you can get used to the intensity of cardio. So some sessions you might be feeling a bit more energized as well, so you actually can up the intensity. So it's all about holding yourself to that standard and making sure you're not slipping up and holding back during cardio. One thing that you shouldn't do is lean like this, but today I'm so tired, so I find myself keep doing it, struggling. But we are on the last 25 seconds.
Don't know to me.
Done. Ooh, this is the worst part of getting off the Stairmaster. Small people problems. That's 45 minutes fasted, done. I also have 15 minutes post-workout to do, which I'm gonna do later. So I'm training legs today, and we're gonna probably do the 15 minutes as a warm-up, because I find if I'm pumped after legs and I try and do cardio straight after, I'm just dying. I do the 15 minutes first, and I find it helps a lot. Now I'm just waiting to cool off a bit, gonna get dressed, gonna go do a food shop, go home, shower, and have meal 1 and a decaf coffee, because I've already had my caffeine for the day. Let's go. Thank you.
All right.
So we're outside Tesco's, gonna do a food shop, get some bits and bobs.
Yes. Let's go.
Man, you're sweaty.
Go to the costume. We've got someone there as well.
No, you don't. You just want me to touch your calves. Fruit and veg over there. Oh, these look nice and juicy. Oh my God, look at the size of these blueberries. Oh my God. You can tell I'm on prep, I'm getting excited about the size of blueberries. Usually when you see people filming in the supermarket, they're about to talk a bunch of crap. We're not doing that today. We're just doing the grocery shops. I'm not gonna pick up something and say, this is not food. We are on the hunt for egg whites. Getting some egg whites. This is my protein source for meal 1. You'll see when I make the meal, it's so much more volume when you use egg whites rather than whey protein. I also don't really like the taste of whey protein, so I don't actually use it in any of my meals. We need oats, that's what we need.
The Tesco oats are the best oats. I don't care. We've tried Sainsbury's, we've tried other brands. These ones, they absorb the water the most and they make them nice and fluffy, which you'll see when you get home.
Almond milk, 13 calories per 100 ml. I just use this for my coffee.
Do you need any ice? A little bit of ice? Iced coffee? Get like small.
You can get it. You say, do we need ice? You're the only one who uses it.
Iced coffee in the morning post cardio is the best. I don't care what anybody says.
The best brand oats. It's Tesco Finest ones. Absolutely love these. So when you cook them, they fluff up, so you get a huge bowl of oats. And one thing when you're on prep, you want your food to be as voluminous as possible. You find all these little hacks and tricks to make your food just plump. The Maggi seasoning packets, the absolute best. They probably have some flavor enhancers, but we ain't scared of that. It works out to be like 16 calories per chicken breast, and I don't even have an entire chicken breast in my meal. For those of you who don't know, pick and mix is my absolute favorite thing in the world to eat. I'm literally like a child when it comes to pick and mix.
Whenever we go to the cinema, it costs about 30 quid.
I'll get an entire bag of pick and mix. One day, my love. One day.
When it comes to choosing chicken, you want to look for the best cuts. You don't want to be getting all the stuff, all the fat and all the blood and veins at the back. If it's too thick, it won't cook through properly. So it's trying to find the best cuts. Coming to the supermarket nice and early, you can actually find the best one. They explain why you need to get a good cut of meat and what not to look for.
Let's start loading it now.
Nah.
Do you scan it now or after?
Normally you just press off.
Okay, so shopping done. Now it's time to go home, shower, have our first meal. I'm gonna show you guys how I make my meal 1. You're in for a treat. Thanks. Okay, let's get everything in. So we've got the Hall energy drinks. I don't drink energy drinks ever. I will be literally bouncing off the walls. So we're gonna unload the shopping now. I'm going to go up, shower because I'm sweaty, get changed and come down, and we're gonna start meal 1. So I'm having my pre-coffee coffee. I'll have my decaf coffee straight after cardio when I've got home and I've showered. I feel like it just relaxes me and warms up my stomach. We actually got these mugs from Orlando when I went to the Olympia. We went to Universal and we got this big Marvel mug. I also have a Marauders map. I got a Marauders map. I like my big mugs because I like my big drinks. Gonna have meal one now. Oats, egg whites and blueberries flavored with my sweet flavor drops, my yummy drops from Prozzies. Use my code WIN10 for a discount. I'm gonna show you guys how I make my oats. Like, I make them super thick and voluminous. It's the best meal of the day. Fills me up for ages. I sometimes even struggle getting this meal down. Like, I'll have to pause halfway through because I'm so full, but that's a good feeling to have on prep. Just over the top. Bit of pink Himalayan salt for flavor. Do 8 shakes. This is another weird thing that I get asked is, should I limit sodium like in prep? No, you shouldn't. You should never limit sodium, full stop. Unless you are genetically predisposed to high blood pressure. In that case, yeah, sodium may be, but that's a different story. When you're trying to cut down, actually sodium is something that will help hold water within the muscle and keep you from getting lightheaded, dizzy, you know, symptoms of low blood pressure during training or cardio. If you're getting dizzy or you're cramping, then you probably need to up your salt. You gotta think that when you're on prep, you're eating less food than normal, which means you're getting less salt in any way. You're eating less processed food. Processed food is full of sodium. Limiting your salt is not a good idea. You should really be having more salt, if anything, to make sure that you're still able to train properly and get those good contractions in the gym. Where the hell are the spoons? Egg whites going in. You get so much protein for the amount of egg whites you use. I like to have egg whites instead of whey because you'll see how much it thickens up the oats. It is a bit of a process. When it comes to prep, like, the more time you actually spend prepping your meals, the better they come out and the more you can enjoy them. You're not stuffing food down, you have long breaks between meals, so actually spending time making them, it just makes it feel a little bit more gourmet. I put up a question box on my Instagram page for this YouTube video. So one of the questions I got was actually about the Olympia. How does the Olympia work? Do they pay for you to go? Yes. First of all, to qualify for the Olympia, you have to win a pro show. Previously, you could get into the Olympia by points, meaning if you come top 3 in your show, you get a certain amount of points. If you do enough shows and get top 3 in enough shows, you accumulate enough points to be qualified for the Olympia. They stopped that. As of, I'm pretty sure it was last year was the first year they stopped that. Now you have to win a pro show to get into the Olympia. When you win, they send you a contract and they basically pay for your flights and your hotel accommodation. Your accommodation is for like 2 or 3 nights leading up to the show. I was there a week before, 10 days before, something like that. So I actually ended up getting a villa with the girls and Adam and the videographers, and we split that. But I actually spent the night before the show in the hotel room just so that I was super close to the venue because I had to get my tan in the next day, and I didn't want to have to mess about with traffic or anything like that. You just want your day before show to be as stress-free as possible. And I actually had a good night's sleep for the first time, which is very rare for me just before a show. This is ready. Now we got ground sweet cinnamon. So I actually have to thank Adam for this because I used to just use any old cinnamon, didn't realize there was a difference, but ground sweet cinnamon is so much nicer. And you just pour some of that in there. Cinnamon is really, really good for you, especially for your first meal of the day. So it does increase your insulin sensitivity. So having a teaspoon of cinnamon a day, preferably in the morning with your first carbohydrate meal, will set you up for a good day appetite wise. So you're less likely to have like a spike in your blood sugar and then that crash. You know, some people say they'll have breakfast and they feel hungry like half an hour later. That's probably because you're having that spike in your blood sugar, which is often due to having like refined sugars and things like that. Like, you know, cereals, people saying, oh, cereals are normal breakfast food, but actually a lot of them are just full of sugar. That's why we do oats, which is a whole food, complex carbohydrate, digests slowly. Cinnamon in there for that improved insulin sensitivity, and then we just sweeten it. Sweeteners do not cause an insulin response. I've heard this so many times. Our sweeteners are just as bad for you, if not worse than sugar, because they cause an insulin response. No, they don't. And there's absolutely no evidence to say that they do. These are yummy drops. This is maple syrup flavor. I also have vanilla flavor, caramel flavor, and marzipan flavor. They are an absolute lifesaver. I put them in my coffee, in my tea, in my oats, and in my Greek yogurt meal. You can smell that. It smells so good. It literally smells like maple syrup. Okay, I'm gonna pour this into the bowl. You can see that is a huge, thick bowl of oats. This goes down a treat, and you can really take your time eating it. If you like it a bit more porridgey and less thick, you can add more water, but I like it super thick. Delicious. It's funny because people will probably look at this and say it looks disgusting, but it's absolutely amazing. Some peanut butter for the fats, some more salt to top it off, and then the blueberries. These are some fat blueberries. It must be blueberry season, or someone's jacked these blueberries up with a certain something. Here you are, the most beautiful, voluminous, delicious, spectacular bowl of oats. I'm gonna enjoy eating this. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Baby spoon to make it last longer. Third coffee of the day. Decaf. I just like the taste. Just finished breakfast and I'm having my green tea now. About to do some work, but first I want to go over some questions that I received in my question box. How do you manage being a med student, a pro, Olympian, a coach, and just life all at once? I don't. I do, but it takes a lot of discipline. You have to plan. I like to plan my year in advance. And obviously not to every detail because that's just not realistic. I like to have an overview, a vision of how the year's gonna go, and then break that down into months, and break those months down into weeks, and break those weeks down into each individual day. So with every day, I plan vaguely how my day's gonna go, how I want it to go. Obviously there's always gonna be unforeseeable circumstances that will delay things and, you know, make your routine a bit different, but I like to have a general idea of how my day's gonna go. That way, I can't make an excuse to myself to say, okay, I'm not gonna study right now, or I'm gonna skip the gym, because I know this time I've allocated for this activity, so I have to do it. Yeah, so I am a medical student. I am going into my 5th and final year, so by next year, hopefully, if I pass all my exams, I will graduate and officially be a doctor. In terms of how do I manage that and being a pro, Olympian, a coach, and just life. So being a pro, I don't feel really any different from being a regular bodybuilder. I think I'm still fairly new to the game. I've only been bodybuilding for 2 years, so I'm still learning the whole process. You know, this is my 3rd ever prep. And so far, every prep has been different. It all requires different sacrifices, different commitments. So this year, I have been prepping during my exams. Every year I've been prepping during my exams. My first prep was during my summer exams, second prep during the summer exams, and this prep, I just finished my summer exams. But the difference this year is I also have autumn exams, so coming up in September. It requires a bit more mental effort from me because I now have to study even as I get super lean, whereas before I would be able to hit like the 6-week out mark, 4-week out mark, and my exams would be done, so then I don't have to focus so much on studying. I'll be on my summer holiday and I'd be able to have a lot more free time. This time around, I've really planned how much I need to study, and taking into account that I'm gonna have brain fog, I'm gonna be tired, and making sure that the time of day where my brain does function the best, which is typically morning, afternoon time, and then later in the evening. That's when I know, okay, I can study and be productive. I usually time my training for the afternoon, late afternoon, which is where I typically get that slump where I kind of want to nap or something, but obviously I'm not going to nap. I'll go and train instead. And that's worked out very well for me because the training then wakes me up a bit, and then I can come home, I can eat, I can relax for an hour, and then I can get back to studying. So with coaching, I do limit myself to a certain number of clients, so I don't take on too much. I realized during my last exam season that there was a cap for me, which I never really thought I would reach, but very grateful to actually have reached that. But with coaching, I make sure that I have my clients check in on different days. So I'm not full on one day, whereas before I used to have them on weekends, and it would literally take me the entire day to do all my client check-ins. I've now spread them out across the week, so I have a few every day, and that works out a lot better because then I can fit that into my daily routine. Typically, I'll do my check-ins for my clients after cardio, so that's what I'm going to do now. I usually spend the time I'm actually doing cardio just replying to messages from clients from the night before. They'll have their queries and stuff all replied to in the morning, as I don't like to go on my phone after like 9 p.m. Closer to bedtime, I like to just be off my phone, downtime. If I need to study or read something, then I'll do that. But in terms of screen time, I like to limit that. When I was waking up and going on my phone first thing in the morning, that would just cause me a bunch of stress and anxiety, and I'm like, okay, I have to do this. Whereas if you just give yourself like half an hour in the morning to just get up, get ready, do your morning routine, then you set yourself up for a much less stressful day. Another question was, what made you keep going with bodybuilding, and was there ever self-doubt? So like I say, I'm still a beginner, so it's not a case of, oh, this is something that I have to keep going with. This is still very new to me. I'm still excited. I don't know what's going to happen in 3, 4, 5 years time, but I have this mindset with anything that I will continue to do as long as I enjoy it. The moment that something detracts from my happiness, I'm just like, yeah, no, there's no point. There's no point. I'm motivated by money, but not to the extent that I will do something for money if it makes me miserable. I'm very much, my happiness comes first. Luckily, I'm in this position where everything I am doing right now is making me happy. I'm in a very good position in terms of having a stable job that is coaching. I'm doing well in university. I have a long-term plan. That's not always been the case. Before bodybuilding, I was a bit lost in the gym. I didn't have any goals. I also had a job that I really didn't like. I was working as an accountant, and if you know me, you know I absolutely hate maths. Sitting the ACA and the GDA exams, it was like 14 exams in 1 year, was absolute hell for me. You have to go through something that sucks for you to really appreciate the good in your life, and that's exactly what happened. So now whenever things do get hard, I always just think to myself, it could be worse. Coaching is super rewarding, bodybuilding is super rewarding, and I do it for myself, but I also do it because it inspires people. Like, I get all these messages and people who have come from similar backgrounds. There's a limit to how extreme I will push myself. It's the same thing with my clients. I don't like to push them too hard, and even in things like prep where you do have to go to extremes, there is still a limit. There's a limit to everything until you get to a point where you're literally damaging your health. In terms of self-doubt, yes, I do have periods of self-doubt, but when I do get those, I kind of look at what's causing it. Am I going on Instagram too much? Am I being stagnant? Am I not keeping myself busy? Am I allowing myself to sit and ruminate? Then usually there's a reason, and as soon as I find that reason, I'm like, okay, cool, let's tackle that. Stop doing the thing that's causing me to have self-doubt. Just get back on whatever else I was doing and what I need to do. I think the key is, number one, not comparing yourself to other people, and not comparing yourself to who you were before. It can be good to compare yourself to who you were before when you're looking at yourself in a positive light. I actually had a conversation with one of my clients the other day. She's recently had a child, comparing herself to her pre-pregnancy body, and I was like, this is not making you happy. There's no use in it. You've had a baby. You can't undo that. You wouldn't want to undo that. It's an amazing blessing. Let's now take your physique and run with that, because your body has done an amazing thing and this is the result of it. So now we can get you to your postpartum best physique rather than looking at how you looked before, because it's just not something that's achievable anymore. In terms of your body is physically different. For me, it's just always trying to find the positive in every situation. Sweeten my tea. Even green tea doesn't have to taste like poop. This is vanilla green tea now. Now is my work block. So typically I'll spend 2 to 2.5 hours just going through all my check-ins. So today is Monday, got a fair few check-ins to go through. And then I have a lab report analysis to do. I analyze blood lab reports using the knowledge I've gained through my studies for Heal Labs, who are a company that take blood for anyone who wants to do a health check. A lot of their clients tend to be athletes. When looking at athletes and their blood lab results, you have to take into account that they're athletes because that can affect some of the lab results versus somebody who doesn't train. I offer those video lab reports explaining each marker and what it means, and if something is off, explaining the potential causes. By no means am I diagnosing anything or giving medical advice. That's Heal Labs if you're interested in getting a detailed lab report of your bloods. Welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to be prepping the extremely complex gourmet dish of chicken and rice. Gross. When you want to cook your chicken, so I cook it in the oven and I like it crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. So you want your chicken breast to be level. So you can see here the breast is thicker here and a lot thinner here. So I like to grab it here and cross section slice it. An even cut. So now you can see the thickness of these is pretty much the same. Whereas this chunky bad boy does. We're gonna leave the chicken to marinate for at least 30 minutes. Sometimes I do it overnight, it comes out the best. Otherwise I'll do it for 2 hours, but we have no chicken cooked right now, so I'm only gonna do it for 30 minutes before cooking it. We are going to use our seasoning packets. So we like to mix Cajun and Mexican. My favorite one of these is actually the sweet chili mixed with the Cajun, but they didn't have it in stock. So this is 1.6 kilo of chicken breasts. 2 entire packets combined and spread across this works out to roughly 25 calories per breast. I don't even have an entire breast per meal. I have about half a breast. It's really negligible calories, so don't be scared to season your chicken. What you have to be wary of is oils and fats. So don't cover your chicken in oil, but oil is where you get all your fats from. So I've preheated the oven to 210. So when you go online and you try and look at how to cook chicken breast the best way, they always say like 180, maximum 200. But the best way I've found is actually high heat, 210, and for a shorter amount of time. So I do it for exactly 17 minutes and it just comes out perfect. Look at that beautiful color. Cajun. I used to pronounce it Cajun. First she asked it, know any better. And Mexican. You can smell that. It smells absolutely amazing. Salt and pepper. And then you're gonna spray each chicken breast on both sides with Fry Light, which is a 1 calorie spray. I do 5 sprays on each side, so it's 10 calories per breast, which again, pretty much negligible in the grand scheme of things. Spray that with the Fry Light, just so that the chicken doesn't stick. This is also why I don't need to use sauce, because the dry seasoning mixes with the water from the chicken and then it causes like this nice thick sauce. I do reuse these a few times. We're not damaging the environment too much. Now is the fun part. First pour it in. And then we're gonna get our hands and we now massage the seasoning into the breasticles. My videographer has Parkinson's. So when this cooks, the chicken breast will release water and it will just turn super juicy and the seasoning will go everywhere and form this nice little sauce. Good thing thing I wash my hands. The chicken has been marinating for half an hour, so we're gonna now put it in. Please, when doing this, use oven gloves and don't be like me. We're gonna set the timer for 17 minutes, because that way it will cook perfectly. Meal 2, also my pre-workout meal, chicken, rice and veg. I've already made my rice, seasoned of course, this is basmati rice. Lovely. And that is the alarm for my chicken. So chicken's ready now. Oh, lovely, look at that. Look at all that juice. So this will obviously last me a couple days. I don't like cooking huge amounts that will last me more than 3 days because I really don't like the taste of reheated chicken. This is obviously for 2 people, so this will last us a couple days. Always check if it's cooked through. Grab a knife, get the fattest one and just cut through. You can see how juicy that is. And yeah, it's cooked absolutely perfectly. Prep food doesn't have to taste bland. You don't see no white chicken breast here. Have you eaten?
No, but I'm not.
Time for meal 2. Chicken, rice, some carrots and some pickles for your sodium. I've just put some salt and black pepper on top of this, and I've got my sugar-free, caffeine-free Pepsi Max to keep me hydrated. Keep those sweet cravings at bay. Gonna eat now and we'll head to the gym probably in about an hour, let the food digest a bit. Yeah, that's it. About to go train legs now. So my intro workout drink, I will have hydration formula, Hydromax vanilla cola flavor. Absolutely love this. Creatine, scoop of creatine, mandatory daily, whether I'm training or not. And then my pump formula. So this is stimulant free, meaning no caffeine, no jitters. Just has like nitric oxide, some things like vasodilators and stuff to give you a better pump, bring more blood flow into the muscle. I take a scoop. I've actually never mixed these all in the same bottle. So we're gonna hope that it tastes all right. So this is vanilla cola and this is pink lemonade. I'm not gonna do a whole scoop. So if you have common sense, you'd actually use a funnel, but I'm allowed to blame prep brain. Did I do the creatine already? And then the creatine, so it's 1 scoop. It's about 3 to 5 grams, something like that. Drink this throughout my workout. I'll probably finish it within the first like 20 minutes of my workout and then just refill the bottle. I do drink a lot while I'm training. And usually I'll also have my EAA and electrolytes, but I've run out of that. So just a regular hydration formula today. I feel like you're as curious as me to see what this tastes like. There's a fat lump of Hydromax in that one. Why would you do that?
Do what?
You know what? It's actually really nice. It's actually really nice. You can taste the Hydromax more, and then you've got the pink lemonade, just giving it an extra bit of sweetness. It's really nice. Time to go kill some. Oh, why does that keep happening? I'm just making a mess everywhere. Today we went to a different gym. So I've never actually been to this gym before, but just felt like venturing out and trying something new. I did some leg exercises. I had a pretty decent leg session. I wasn't feeling super energetic, but I trained later than usual. So it's only normal to feel a little bit out of whack. But I had a good session all in all. Post-workout meal, we've got more chicken, rice and veg. I just cooked up a fresh batch of rice, seasoned it, and it tastes and smells absolutely amazing. So going to indulge now and enjoy this. And then I've got my pre-bed meal, which is currently in the freezer. It's a Greek yogurt meal with blueberries and peanut butter, and I just like to have that sitting in the freezer for about an hour, kind of like a frozen yogurt dessert. Gonna chill now, watch the latest episode of Game of Thrones House of the Dragon. If you haven't already, watch my other videos. I am filming the whole road to the Olympia. Looking forward to seeing you guys again soon.
We start the TV